In a village where the light never truly stayed, where the sun would rise only to feel weaker by night, there was a rule everyone feared. Never trust your shadow after sunset, because in Darrowmere, shadows did not always belong to the people they followed. There was a girl named Elira, and unlike the others, Elira was not afraid of the dark. While children ran home before dusk, she lingered, watching, studying, not the people, but their shadows, because she noticed something no one else did. They moved when they shouldn't. A flicker, a shift, a moment too late. And one night, her shadow waved at her. It was a thin, silent night. The moon barely held its shape, and her room was lit by a single, trembling candle. Elira sat still, watching her shadow stretch across the wall. The flame flickered, but the shadow did not. It stood still. Then slowly, it turned its head. Elira froze. Her breath caught in her throat, because her shadow was no longer following her. It was watching her. Then it stepped off the wall and stood in front of her, dark, shifting, alive. The room grew cold, colder than nights should ever be. Elira tried to speak, but the shadow spoke first. Elira. Her name echoed, wrong, stretched, empty. "How do you know my name?" she whispered. The shadow tilted its head. "You have been watching us. Now we can watch you." Before she could move, the shadow reached out. Its hand passed through her, and the world broke. The walls twisted, the light collapsed, the air turned heavy, and suddenly, she was somewhere else. A darker version of her home, familiar but wrong, like a memory that had been corrupted. Shapes moved in the distance, people, but not quite. They walked slowly, dragging shadows too large for their bodies. Elira whispered, "What happened to them?" The shadow answered calmly, "They borrowed us." She frowned. Borrowed shadows? Borrowed fearlessness. The shadow turned to Elira, its form shifting like smoke. "You are different, Elira. You see us. You understand." Elira shook her head. "I don't understand anything." The shadow leaned closer. "We can take your fear away. No more fear of the dark. No more fear of what waits." Her heart raced. "What's the cost?" she asked. The shadow smiled. "Let us stay." Elira returned home, but everything felt wrong. People changed. A boy who once cried became silent. A woman who feared the forest walked into it alone at night, and everywhere, shadows stretched too long, too heavy, too alive. Elira called the shadow again. It came instantly, waiting. "What did you do to them?" she demanded. The shadow answered calmly, "We freed them. They feel nothing now." Elira's voice shook. "They're not human anymore. They are better." The shadow reached for her again. "Join us. You will never feel fear again." Elira hesitated. Fear had always been with her, heavy, uncomfortable. But now she understood. Fear wasn't the enemy. It was a warning, a guide, proof that she was still alive. She stepped back. "I choose to feel." The shadow recoiled. For the first time, It faltered. The room trembled. The world flickered. And Elira stepped forward, into the light. Not away from darkness, but through it. Across the village, something broke. People gasped, cried, felt. Fear returned, and with it, life, warmth, humanity. Darrowmere slowly healed. The laughter returned. The light grew stronger. But Elira never forgot, because sometimes, just sometimes, when the light flickers, her shadow lingers a moment too long, watching, waiting. And if you look closely tonight, you might notice yours does too.